How's everyone doing today? So, the song I'm covering today is Havana. I heard it on the radio, good at last week, so ended up deciding it could be a good live stream lesson to do. Like a lot of the songs on the radio, there's not too many things going on chord-wise with it. It's like a main hook, and once you learn that, you have the intro, you have the main hook, you have the verse, you have the chorus. The only part that differs is the rap bit, and I've that as well today. Alright, now, before you begin, you are going to need a capo on the 3rd fret of the guitar. So, let's start by pulling up the tab. And as always, if anybody has any questions at any stage, just pop a comment below. I'll be keeping an eye on them here on the laptop. Alright, so to begin, you're going to see that written over the tab there's an E minor. So, the chords are basically just a general guideline on what you can do. And the idea with them is, when you have them going on, it'll actually make it a lot easier to understand what notes you're meant to be playing with the tab. Alright, so to begin, if you put on the E minor, and it's all finger picked. So the deal is, I'm actually using my thumb to hit any of the bass notes. I'm going to use only my index, my middle, and my ring finger to cover any other notes going on. Alright, so I'll just play it once just to give you an idea. So it goes 3, don't let this monitor dim, it goes 3, 4. That's what you have going on in that first line below. Right, let's get into it. So, E minor, what you'll do is you'll do the following. You'll get thumb on the E string, then you're going to pick the 3 open strings with the 3 remaining fingers here. Then, your thumb is going to hit the 2nd fret on the A string. Alright, now the count of that goes 1 and 2 and. I'll do that again. The quality in the recording, you're actually going to hear that it does sound very like... I wouldn't get into that just yet, but what you can do for now is hit it really softly. We're going to focus on just the notes and the timing and the fingers. So, we get that. Now, on the 3rd beat here, you put on your C chord, and a tip for anybody out there who wants a quicker E minor to C, your middle finger can actually wait in the same place for both chords. So, like, that can actually speed them up if you're kind of caught for speed. So, we get 3 and 4. I'm not going to hit the last note just yet. Alright, so that goes 3 and 4. The reason I'm not hitting the last note of that bar is you're going to see above the note there's actually a B7 written there. You have to put that on right at the end of the bar because it kind of falls into the next bar, like this. Alright, so to get that, your C to B7, for anybody out there who's just beginning or who hasn't played B7 much, that strikes me as the biggest change to work on with this piece. So I'd isolate it, take it back and over, just going like that. Right, so we get this. We get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, I'll do that one more time. Now, one little tip with the B7 is, most people will be used, if you've done B7 before, to putting on your pinky. We're not going to use it in the song, so if you want to save yourself time and a bit of pain, because it's the pinky, you don't need to put it on. Alright, so let's have a look at the 2nd bar. Now, the 2nd bar, it's B7 for most of it. And you're going to see that there's a little tie going on right there below. I'm not going to get into that just yet. For now, we're actually going to go to the 2, the first beat of the 2nd bar. Okay, that's a straightforward B7. I'm hitting it like that. Okay, and then you're going to see that 1st fret on D appears again. Okay, and the timing on that goes as follows. It goes 1 and 2 and 3 and. I'll do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now let's talk about that tie, the one that connects the first bar and the second bar. The thing about it is, when you hit that second fret on the first bar, the real end, it just, how do you say, it rings into the next bar. So it would go like this from the beginning. It would go 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the main thing to keep in mind is after you hit the offbeat of the 4, it's going to ring into the first beat of the next bar. Now, you're going to see a chord there written B flat or B7 flat and ninth, right? For this chord, it's used a lot in jazz, but it has that sort of cool sound to it. So for the speed that you'll be going at in the piece, because it actually goes like this. A tip I'd have is if you're on B7, watch what I'm going to do for the B7 flat and ninth. I'm actually just going to get my index and flatten a knuckle on it, right? So I'll do that again. Excuse my self-imposed angles. Multicam setup for live streaming coming very soon. Alright, so I'm going to flatten my index there. And what that does is that bars the first fret on the B string, as you can see in the tab, and allows us to press the second fret on the G string. So I go like this. Flatten. And watch the movement that happens to this knuckle as I do it. And here it goes. It's very subtle, but it makes all the difference. And then you have two options here. You can lift off the chord or just release that index finger back to where it was, because you want the open string on the B to come out now. That bar altogether goes like this. So it goes flatten, lift. I'm a fan of like not lifting off the fingers, even though it's just an open string that's left there. The reason is, if I do that, as you lift your fingers off, sometimes it can cause this to happen. Just take a listen. You'll hear a little bit of ringing going on as you lift the fingers off, so just watch out for that. Now, let's just recap on that first bar, on the first two bars. The practice points I'm looking at here really are your fast change from your E minor to your C, and then the way that the B7, if you haven't done a song like this before where the B7 like kind of falls into the next bar, that will be something to practice. It can throw players off. And then in that next bar, the B7 with the flattened ninth will be the chord to practice. So practice flattening the index like that. Right, so I'm going to get the next part of the tab. Here is the brilliant news. For anybody looking at it going, that looks the exact same. It's nearly the exact same. There was one little change I listened to in the part. So if you have a look through the tab there, you're going to see that it begins the same again. The only difference in this line of tab compared to the last one is your C has now become a C major 7. And that's because if we take a look here, let's see, right there, you're going to see that there is the open string on the B now being brought out in the fourth beat below me here. So like it's going like this. It's going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So on that fourth beat you get that nice jazz chord. Also used a lot in what do you call it, Mario Kart, or underwater levels in Mario. Always reminds me of the Wii. Then it's going to finish the exact same again. So I'm just going to play that bar, or play those two bars once. So it's going to go 3, 4. Right now, sorry, I know I played it twice. There is just one other little bit to go then, and that's the part where the rap happens over. So, like I was saying, you actually get the intro, you get the verse, you get the main hook out of all this stuff. The note content and the rhythm content are like fundamental to it, of course, but that sort of aggressive piano-y sound that's on it, we can replicate that by just digging into the strings a lot more. So what I'm doing here is, do you see the way that the string is actually moved before I hit it? And that's how it sounds. Okay, and this here. Again, if you watch my fingers here, I'm digging right under, and they're going to snap. Is that a nice sound? No. But the thing is, it gets you the sound of the song. Alright? It's often a thing that I'd see beginners do when they're learning to pick or play chords. They kind of hit it with everything they've got. So this is kind of what you're aiming for with this song. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to leave up a slide a sec to see does anybody have any questions, and I'm going to get the next one up here. And we're back in the room. Right, so the last part goes as follows. The first thing to draw your attention to would be the fact that we're actually just on single notes here this time. There's no more chords happening. And it's tagged on the tab that you'll get the link to below. It's tagged that this happens at 1:22 in the song. It's the part where the sort of rap / singing comes in. Right, so let's get into it. It's going to go as follows. You get your 2 open strings, then your 2 3rd frets on E. So it goes. Now, the 3rd beat there, you're going to see we have an offbeat there on the open string E, then offbeat again on the 1st fret of D. So it goes. So it goes. I'll do that again, sorry. Okay, nothing major to mention there, like the notes are pretty easy to do. Fingers wise, I would use whatever, pretty much whatever fret is written here, I would use that finger to play the note. So a 3rd finger there, index, pinky, yes, pinky. So we get that, so we get, and make sure that you actually cut out your notes in between those, so it goes. Mute, mute. Okay, and simply you'll just mute by getting your thumb resting on the strings. Alright, now let's get into the last bar of the whole thing. It goes 1 and 2 and. Okay, now that stretch that can be there from the index to the pinky, it really helps if you get your thumb. Watch how low my thumb is down the neck. Really low. It's not up high. It's really hard to get stretches at times if your thumb is at the top. So we get that. 1 and 2 and. Now finally, the thumb can come back up if you want, and then it goes 3 and 4 and. You might have noticed that the final 2 notes still contain the same thing as the previous bars and previous lines, apart from just 1 note missing, of course. But that ending, as we go, this one goes. Alright, that part actually isn't as aggressive as the other one, so I'd take it a bit handier with the picking of it. I'd actually use the thumb as well, just to let you know, to give it more of a thump. I'd use the thumb all the way from the start of this line up until the index and the pinky notes. Then the last 3 notes I would use index, then middle. And that is all the piece, right? That is, how do you say, it's a reason why a lot of the songs on the radio are really cool to teach, because once you have the work done with 1 or 2 parts of it, it usually gets you the intro, usually gets you the verse, usually gets you the chorus. There might be bridge at times, other times there's not, or maybe the breakdown rap part. So I hope you found this of value. If anybody's any questions, let me know. Or if you can think of anybody who's into the song or who might like to have a go at learning the song, all the info is there for them. And what was the other thing? Yeah, oh yeah, there'll be lessons going up now on my YouTube channel 3 days a week for the next couple of months. I'm going to be picking chart hits, usually. Maroon 5 is going up later, and already this week Shape of You and one of Logic's songs, 1800, went up. So if anybody's any requests they'd like me to teach on YouTube, especially on the Throwback Thursdays, I got a request for next Thursday, so keep an eye out for that one, and I'll catch you all very soon. Thanks for watching.